All right. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from last meeting? I'd like to make a motion to approve.
So moved, Aaron.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Aaron, have we received any public comment?
Nobody has reached out to address the committee.
Secretary's report?
All right. So right now the blighted property list sits at 231. 69 properties are currently owned by the redevelopment authority or the land bank and are under some level of intervention. An additional 20 properties were sent over to legal team to get condemnation action filed against them. Those were approved by the Planning Commission for declaration of blight during the month of June. An additional 29 properties are under some level of private rehab. An additional 30 properties are being currently evaluated by the redevelopment authority for potential condemnation action later on this year. So that's my secretary's report as far as that, and I'll hand it over to Mindy to kind of talk about the statement to rehabilitate.
Hey, good morning. Just wanted to drop in to talk about the statement of intent to renovate a blighted property. We've had a lot of success with this form. It's a 4-page form. So typically if people are getting this notice of blight, or if they've been blighted for a long time and they're getting a pre-condemnation notice, and calling to inquire about that, what we've been doing is having them fill out this form. It sets very specific parameters. They have to fill out what they're doing with the property, what their time frame is, what the budget is. And it's been a really nice tool for us to use just to have that communication line open with the homeowner, and then also have some dates as far as what the expectations are. Obviously, we know that there's contractor shortage, there's issues getting supplies sometimes, but as long as these people are working with us, communicating with us, then we just keep that statement of intent rolling for them. And yeah, like I said, it's been a really nice success so far. So did anybody have any questions about that?
Awesome. Thanks, Mindy.
Thanks.
All right. Has the board received any correspondence?
Did want to bring up in the email that was sent out, that I sent out a few weeks ago in regards to 802 East 22nd Street. That is a blighted property, that there was a bunch of misinformation spread around as far as action against that property. Mindy did have communication with the owner. If you want to add anything, Mindy.
Sure, just to give a timeline, I think I did speak to a lot of people individually about it. The property owner had received, no, excuse me, the owner is brother-in-law to a blighted property owner down the street. The property owner down the street was one that we just recently condemned, so the house had gotten posted. As a matter of all of that going on, the communication came across to 802 that his property was blighted. It obviously has had work done to it. I looked at pictures from before to now, so I had actually scheduled a blight rescind inspection with him for the following week. In that, the next 12 hours from me scheduling that blight rescind meeting with him was when he contacted a lot of the board members here, a lot of race and the land bank board members, members of the city, so to discuss that, saying that he received a pre-condemnation notice, which he did not. So again, just kind of wanted to let everybody know what the status of that was. And at this point, it unfortunately was found out that the zoning and permits are some issues for that building at this time. So any other questions about that? Good, thank you.
Thanks, Mindy. All right, Andy. You there?
Think he might be having some technical issues.
Okay. Guess we move on to old business. We have one property for blight rescind, 355 West Third Street. Pull up the picture.
This was a parcel with two separate buildings on it, one in the front and one in the behind. Both of the buildings have been demolished privately.
I think Andy's trying to come back in. Motion to rescind.
I'll move.
Angela,
A second.
Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
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 You there, Andy?
I'm back.
All right, you're back. All right, we're on new business.
Okay. Mike, you're up.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So the first property or properties that I have to present are 4 individual lots. They're all adjoining. Only one of them has a structure on it. They're all by the same owner, same related violations and case history. It's one, it looks like one big lot from the street, but when I actually did some research, it's 4 individual parcels that were just never combined into one, as the same owner owns the building and the lots on either side. I think I have some aerials that kind of show what I'm explaining. Yeah, those pictures are a little bit out of order, but yeah, so there's a big brick building in the front of West Third Street and there's 2 lots on either side of it. So there's 4 total lots. So I'm presenting lot 4018-238, 4018-236, and 4018-237. Oh, and 4018-238. So the taxes, I combined all of the tax information for both lots together. There are back taxes owed from 2021 to 2023 in the amount of $4,718. The water has been off to the brick building since April of 2022. And there are water balances of $2,396 and sewer and garbage balances of $1,851. The electric is off. This was owned by an older gentleman. He moved to Atlanta, Georgia with his daughter. We have had very sparse communications with the daughter that lives in Atlanta, Georgia. There were notices sent in June of 17, June of 22, May of this year, and July of this year. So about once a year for the last 2.5 years, the daughter will contact us. And she states that her intention is to fix it up, rent it out. She'll come one time all summer, cut the grass, lock it up, and then leave. And then it's kind of a rinse and repeat thing. It's been going on for quite a few years now, but nothing ever comes to fruition for anything she's promised to do. So my hope is that blight designation will kind of prompt her to move along and actually come through with what she promises to do with it. And it's on a block that's kind of really coming back. There's another blighted property that's being in the process of being condemned on that same block. And our West Bayfront also owns a property across the street that's been working on it. And the rest of the neighbors in this neighborhood are really working on their properties. In fact, 2 of them came out to voice their frustrations with this brick property when I was over there to post it last time.
Motion to blight the 4 parcels.
That guy.
Have a second? I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Next, we have 1029 East 25th Street. This one, the owner is deceased. And it's just left vacant we have not been able to get in contact with any next of kin or estate. There's notices dating back to January of this year, May of this year, and January and June of this year. The notice was returned with out of forwarding address and undeliverable. There was a repair demo order issued of July of this year. There are back taxes owed from 2020 to 2023 over $5,424. The water's been off since last June of 22, and there are water balances of $704 and sewer and garbage balances of $1,342. The electric is off in the backyard, the back porch there. The neighbor claims that people are just showing up and using it as a private dumping ground for the entire neighborhood, that other members of this area are doing this. The backyard's overgrown. It looks like there was a shed or something back there that collapsed, and there have been trespassers removed from this property.
Thank you, Mike. Do I have a motion to blight?
So
I'll
moved,
move.
Aaron. Oh,
I'll second.
Okay, you doing?
Aaron up first, Dave for the second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Next, we have 517 East 6th Street. This is another one where the owner is deceased, or we believe she's deceased. It's been left, it's pretty bad. We've had EPD there, every police department there probably 2 or 3 times a summer removing people. The inside of it is completely cluttered. We have had parks boarded up. I've resecured it myself. The original case was dating back to 2008 when the owner was alive, and it's been an ongoing issue for a long time. And now that she's passed, it's gotten even worse with people coming in and out and trespassing and trashing and squatting there and then leaving. There was notices sent in 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, August of 2021, June of 2022, it was posted and boarded up again. And then a repair demo order was sent in July of this year. The taxes are current, but the water's been off since January of 23. And the electric is also off. We've removed, every police department has removed people from here several times, and Parks Department has been back to boarded up 2 or 3 times. It's vacant, abandoned, and just, it's become an eyesore for the neighborhood.
All right, Mike, thank you. Do I have a motion to blight?
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
Second, Aaron. Oh, Angela.
thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, next, right down the street, we have 421 East 6th Street. This one, according to the neighbors, the owner is incarcerated, and it was the product of a raid and drug bust a few years ago, where several weapons and drugs were removed, and it's been sitting abandoned since. This is another one where there have been several squatters in and out of there. I've seen needles and other drug paraphernalia on the ground and inside of there. Parks has been back to board this one up several times. There's a pathway back there where people cut through the neighbor's yard and cut through a hole in the fence and sneak into the back there and walk through and litter and dump and just squat there. The original case goes back to 2012. There's been case history on this with several different owners, but the most recent, there was notices sent in May of 19, October of 20, November of 20, April of 22, May of 22, June of 22, July of 22, June of this year, and July of this year. There are back taxes owed from 2020 to 2023, $4,900. The water's been off since October of 21. There are balances on the water of $741 and $1,161 in sewer and garbage. The electric is off, and there are also water liens attached to this property, as well as a board and seal lien to have Parks come and board and seal it up.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to blight?
I motion.
Thank you, Sheila. Second,
Second. Aaron.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Next, we have 832 East 22nd Street. There are back taxes on this one from 2021 to 2023 in the amount of $4,427. The water has been off since October of '09, and the electric is currently off. There are no balances on the water, sewer, and garbage. This is another one where the neighbors believe the police, EPD has removed people from here with possible suspected drug use inside and squatting. This case history goes back to 2011, but there were notices sent in 11, 13, 16, 21. January of this year, we posted an order to correct and remove squatters and had Parks boarded up. There was a lien filed to have Parks boarded up and clean up some of the junk and debris on the front. There are bullet holes on the side of the window. It's so, I tried to get better pictures to show the committee the condition of the property, but it's so overgrown. I was kind of limited as to what I could take. It's hard to even get into the backyard because it's so thick.
I motion to blight.
Thank you, Sheila. Second,
I second.
thank you, Dave. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, next we have 4008 Melrose Avenue. So according to the neighbors of this one, the owner is deceased, but I could not find any verification of this. It is overgrown and it's a predominantly built up area. The taxes are current and the utilities are active. But we sent a notice in May and it was returned in June. And after doing some research, we were notified that the owner had moved to Morgantown, West Virginia, and is in a retirement facility in West Virginia. So I have conflicting reports as to the owner's whereabouts, whether she's deceased or in a retirement home in West Virginia. There was another notice sent to the address we were given in Morgantown, West Virginia on June 7th with no reply. And a no repair demo was issued on July 6th of this year. So the owner may or may not be alive, but either way, we don't believe she's in the state. This is another one that was so overgrown, it was hard to get pictures of the backyard back there. This is another one that's in an area where the rest of the neighborhood is immaculate and the owners take very good care of their property. So we get a lot of calls and complaints on this one. And there is an owner next door that's trying to sell their house and they believe this is bringing their property value down.
Motion to blight, Aaron.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have 316 East 9th Street. This is one where we have had limited correspondence with the owner, but it's another at the beginning of every summer. I'm gonna have it fixed up by the end of the summer and rent it out. This is going on the third summer, or second summer, we've been told this and it's still sitting in the same condition. There's I believe it's a school or a community center across the street that is concerned with this because it's an eyesore and they're afraid of kids going in and around it and getting hurt. The original case goes back to 2011. We've had case history on probably the past 3 or 4 owners because it keeps changing hands. There's notices set in 2011, 17, March of 20, June of 22, August of 22, and July of this year. There are back taxes owed from 2022 to 2023 in the amount of $2,040. The water's been off since August 24th of 21. There are no back water fees owed but there is a sewer and garbage fee of $122 owed. The electric is off. It is vacant. I don't want to say it's abandoned because the owner does come about once a year to do something to the property, but it's been sitting like this with no movement, and there are several abandoned vehicles on the property.
Mike, is this a candidate for rehab?
I have not been inside, but it is a solid brick structure. The chimney needs repointed, but I just from the limited viewings I could see, it does look like it to me, yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to Blight?
I'll move.
Thank you,
Second, Aaron.
Dave. Thank you, Aaron. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And lastly is a little manner of kind of housekeeping, I guess. There's a series of industrial lots up around Plum and Liberty Street that the committee voted to blight in this February 8th meeting of 2023. I think there were 8 or 9 of them. And after doing some research, we forgot one. There was one that's landlocked behind Erie Beer. That is the same owners that live in Marlborough, Massachusetts, that have neglected it. Same issues, dumping, overgrown, dilapidated fences, things like that. There same case history as the previous ones that the committee voted to blight from 12, 14, 20, 21, and 22. If the current owners have had it since 2003, it's just one that we kind of forgot when I presented the other industrial abandoned lots in February.
I
Mike,
move to
would Erie
blight.
Beer be interested in that property?
I think Aaron might have had discussions with them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're working with the County Redevelopment Authority along with Erie Beer to have a plan for that once acquisition is completed.
This one's kind of landlocked. You can't really get to it until you go through Erie Beer's property.
Good to see an end result. All right, do I have a motion to Blight?
We had a motion from Sheila.
Sheila, thank you.
I'll
Second,
second Aaron.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And
Aye.
and Donnie raised his hand.
I mean, I can wait until we're done. I just had a question about a prior. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about
Yes.
that. I had a question about I believe it was a prior property that we had a fire at the other day. So I can wait. I just didn't know if I didn't want everybody to leave before I got a chance to ask is all.
Is it a blighted property?
Well,
The
I
fires-
thought it was, we had a fire at 250 East 21st Street. And it extended to the property next door at 260 East 21st Street. And when I went into that house, we take pictures of each house inside and out. If there's damage, just in case they have insurance or whatever, then they come and say, hey, this is wrong, whatever. We have proof of what happened. But when I was in 260, the northeast corner of the house on the second floor was already caved in. It had nothing to do with the fire.
So 260 is a blighted property. It was
Okay.
blighted in 09, but it's owner occupied, and they had been doing some work on it very, very slowly over the years, which is why I kind of backed off of it. But I don't think any work's been done recently to it in quite a while.
Well, the pee aroma inside the house is very overwhelming when you go in there. Sorry, women, girls, I didn't mean anything to be offensive by that, but
Did it seem occupied when you were there?
oh yeah, there's 5 or 6 TVs in it, and there was a gentleman in a wheelchair living in it, and I believe his sister or somebody, but I don't know how they're living in it. I mean, it's just if I was living in a tent in a field, it would be cleaner than that place.
Mm.
It was
So-
absolutely horrible.
We can meet about it and discuss a plan of attack after the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
Oh,
No,
no
you're
problem.
good. Thanks.
So that's all I have this month. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mike. All right. Any further business?
That is all.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved, Aaron.
Second,
Second.
Sheila.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Thank you.